What's up, guys? It's me, Tiff, and I'm in New York City watching Sam Bankman-Fried's criminal trial in person. As I've stated before, it won't be televised. There are no phones or electronics or cameras allowed in the courtroom. So I've been going in person every single day, and I'll be sharing a bunch of updates here on YouTube and Twitter and Substack, etc. So if you want to follow along, feel free to follow me. If not, it's fine. Anyway, today, Ellison, Sam Bankman-Fried's former on-again, off-again girlfriend, testified against him in court. I did a quick video on this earlier today on my lunch break, but after lunch we got to see a lot more of her testimony. So just to recap, Ellison kicked off her testimony by blatantly admitting to committing financial crimes, fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, and money laundering by defrauding customers of FTX and lenders to FTX and Alameda Research. She claims that Sam Bankman-Fried directed her to commit these crimes, and that Alameda Research took billions of dollars of FTX customer funds to repay debts and to invest. Ultimately, according to Caroline, Alameda Research ended up using $14 billion of FTX customer funds, but were able to repay some of that. So that's how Caroline's testimony started off, but it lasted all day, so I just want to get into the most notable bits. Caroline was asked about her relationship with Sam Bankman-Fried. She said that they started sleeping together on and off in the summer of 2020. They dated and they broke up. Also, in case you're curious, Caroline Ellison also talked about her breakup with Sam Bankman-Fried. She did mention that there were a few awkward situations due to the power indifference, and that Caroline ultimately wanted more, but Sam was distant and not paying much attention to her or spending much time with her, so they eventually agreed to break up. She was then asked about Sam Bankman-Fried's ambitions, and according to Caroline, Sam Bankman-Fried told her that he wanted to become president of the United States. So that was a fun little bit. Sorry to cut the video off midway, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Aura. Aura is an identity theft and data security company that strives to protect you from scammers and hackers by scanning the web and the dark web for your sensitive information like your emails, passwords, social security number, home address, etc., and alerts you immediately if it finds anything and automatically requests removal for you. Aura's actually found a ton of my personal information like my passwords, my home address, my phone number, leaked out there on the internet and automatically alerted me and has successfully removed a lot of that for me. So I actually pay for a monthly Aura subscription. I love using them. So if you want to check out a 2-week free trial, you can go to aura.com/Tiffany, or you can use this handy little QR code right here. But personally, I think it's worth even just trying out the 2-week free trial just to check and see if any of your personal information has been leaked out there on the internet so that you can try to get that removed. But anyway, getting back into the meat of the testimony, according to Caroline, Sam said that FTX would be a good source of capital, and he set up the system that allowed customer funds to be borrowed. Caroline recalled that in the summer of 2021, $2 billion was used so that FTX could buy back their equity from Binance. Caroline stated that she was concerned about this decision because although FTX had raised a lot of money, they would certainly need more than the money they had raised in order to buy back their shares from Binance. Caroline pointed out to Sam that they didn't have enough funds, so they'd have to use their essentially unlimited line of credit on FTX. Apparently, Sam responded that that's okay, I think this is really important, so we have to get it done. So $1 billion of presumably customer funds was then withdrawn from FTX. So basically, this decision stood out in Caroline's mind as one of the first times that Alameda substantially dipped into FTX's funds. We then discussed the creation of FTT token. FTT was mostly owned by Alameda Research. In fact, they had about 60 to 70% of the supply, and obviously Alameda paid $0 to accumulate all these FTT tokens. The price of FTT during their seed round was 10 cents, but then it rose to $1 when it was listed on exchanges. Apparently, Sam stated that $1 is a psychologically important price, so Alameda should buy if the price starts to dip below $1. Eventually, the price of FTT rose to around $50 a token, and Sam suggested that they should start including it on the balance sheet so that they can get more loans from lenders. So when Alameda was looking for loans and had to prepare balance sheets to show to lenders, Caroline didn't initially include FTT because she thought it would be misleading since Alameda owned so much of it and it was a very illiquid token. However, apparently, Sam Bankman-Fried directed Caroline to include FTT on their balance sheets so that they could get more loans from Genesis and other third-party lenders. By late 2021, Alameda was borrowing a lot from lenders, apparently around $10 to $15 billion from third parties. These were open-term loans, so the lenders could ask for them to be repaid at any time, and Alameda would have to repay them. them. Caroline pointed out that open-term loans are obviously much riskier than fixed-term loans, and that if all of the loans were recalled, and if Alameda didn't have the funds to repay them, then they would have to either go bankrupt or default on the loans. In the fall of 2021, Sam Bankman-Fried asked Caroline Ellison to make some calculations to determine Alameda's financial standing if there were a large market downturn, because apparently he wanted to make $3 billion in venture investments and wanted to consider what might happen to Alameda if they were to proceed. Caroline calculated that if there was a significant market downturn, even if Alameda decided not to invest $3 billion into venture investments, there was a 30% chance that they would not be able to repay their loans from third-party lenders. She then calculated that if Alameda were to proceed with $3 billion of venture investments, there would be a 100% chance that they would not be able to repay their loans from third-party lenders, even if they were to dip into FTX customer funds. Sam noted this, but told Caroline to redo the calculations, assuming that Alameda could convert all of their open-term loans into fixed-term loans. So Caroline redid the calculation, concluding that if Alameda were able to convert all of their open-term loans into fixed-term loans, there would be a 30% chance they wouldn't be able to repay their loans from lenders. Well, it seems like Sam was perfectly fine with that risk, because ultimately Alameda was not able to change all of their open-term loans to fixed-term loans, but despite that, wanted to go ahead with the venture investments, apparently with the plan to dip into FTX customer funds if Alameda ran out of assets. Caroline pointed out that Sam described himself as truly risk neutral and comfortable with taking risk as long as it was positive EV. Apparently he made an analogy to a coin flip and said that he would be willing to flip a coin if the odds were 50% the world gets destroyed, as long as there was a 50% chance that the world would turn out twice as good. In January 2022, Sam tweeted, "We're launching a $2 billion venture fund, FTX Ventures. As a founder, it's important to support other founders creating great companies. Hopefully this will allow us to do that and a lot more." In other words, Sam went right ahead with the venture investments, even though Caroline had told him that they were not able to change all of their loans to fixed term, and that this meant that they would likely be unable to repay loans if they were recalled. So ultimately, it was Caroline Ellison's understanding that if loans were recalled, their plan was to borrow from FTX with their line of credit. In other words, using FTX customer funds. So anyway, Caroline Ellison's testimony took up the majority of the day and is expected to continue on tomorrow and maybe even the next day, but those were just some of the highlights from my notes, just trying to keep you all updated. I'll continue posting updates for those of you who can't make it in person, since it will not be televised, like I said. So if you want to follow along, I'm on YouTube at Tiffany Fong, I'm on Twitter at Tiffany Fong with 1_, I'm on Substack at tiffanyfong.substack.com. I've also been posting little excerpts from my conversations with Sam Bankman-Fried, as well as some pieces of some documents he sent me while he was on house arrest for my paid Twitter and Substack subscribers. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can feel free to subscribe to me. If not, it's totally fine, and I'm still going to make these update videos to post publicly for everyone.